All right. On a fantastic and very soulful Friday afternoon. How's everyone doing? It's the Teddy Bear, and welcome to Night Traxx Radio. And today's artist spotlight, singer, songwriter, musician, Kevin Sonny Gullage. Lord have mercy. New album, Go Be Free, Blind Pig Records. Actually will be out on August the 23rd, but it's available for pre-order as we speak. My man, welcome to the show.
Man, Teddy Bear, how you doing, brother? Hey, that's a great intro, man. Say it like that. That's a pretty dang good intro.
Well, brother, it is well deserved. Thank you so much for joining us. The album is incredible. And one of the singles that was just recently released, I believe today, off the album, Just Kiss Me, Baby. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you're right.
What has it been like, man? It's been a whirlwind. We go from, at one point being on American Idol, and now we're here. You're at the forefront. You're doing music that you love, that speaks to you and speaks to so many people. It resonates just not with blues, but also intertwines with gospel. And I wanted to ask you, how imperative or how important as far as how important has gospel music played a major part in your life?
Oh, man. That's that. And I'm glad you said it like that. That's such a basis foundation. I mean, coming from the South, we say it like that. Coming from the South, we got a few things that sort of been true the whole time. And for me, for my family, especially gospel music has always been one of them. I come from a very large family full of musicians. My father has 11 siblings. That makes him one of 12. And growing up, you know how it is in the gospel circuit. Anything more than 4 people, that's a gospel quartet. You get together and start singing. So my father and his brothers had their gospel group, and all of his sisters had their own gospel. The boys had their own gospel quartet. The girls had their own gospel quartet. And then my grandmother, Sister Alberta Gullage, she was recording in 1965. She had a release with Sammy Perfect, actually. So gospel music has always been there. That's where that feeling comes from. That's where that power singing comes from. You can sit around a campfire and sing one thing, but sitting on the back porch with just 2 things, music and the Lord. That's what it comes to. Blues music is derived from that. It comes from that gospel. And even when you sing blues, you're singing the gospel just in a different time. So
Right.
Yeah, gospel's always been important. We always say it like this: born into gospel, schooled in jazz, and then have a passion for the blues. So
Right.
Yeah, gospel was that basis that I don't think many people nowadays give as much credit to.
Right.
They hear you, they're like, "Oh, you're out of church, probably, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit." Yeah, maybe. That's that foundation. I might not say like this. Might not have been playing in church, but I'm out of church.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. I've always felt there's always been something, quote unquote, in the water as far as gospel music has the ability to touch so many people, where it's able to be, as far as translated through blues music as well as country music. I feel like it's all intertwined. We're all telling a story about our personal experiences via through relationships, family. We have a way of experiencing and expressing it. And I looked at the video, Go Be Free. And I mean, all of us as children at one point or another, we've experienced that. Being in class. What was it? First of all, I want to kudos on the cinematography for the video, Go Be Free. And I wanted to ask you, who came up with the concept for the video?
No, it's a great question. And I'm going to say it out loud. Man, My father, my father is a director of magnitudes. I mean, my father, he first things first, my father is in my band. He's part of the Blues Groovers. He is the
Okay.
band leader of the Blues Groovers.
Okay.
At the same time, my father also worked under Tyler Perry for 6 years. So
Really?
he was Tyler Perry music director, and the whole time
Okay.
my father also had his own side, just being a director in general. So when it came to the concept of the music video, I had a concept originally, and my father was like, "Hey, maybe that's not the way to go forward first. Maybe that's the way to go forward second, you know. Maybe later on, when people have understood who you are, then you can go into a character. But for now, be yourself." So it was a mixture of the song, like writing the song. I always wanted to paint a picture when I was writing a song. So every time, every lyric you heard it, I wanted it to be a picture, a new picture, new mural. So first verse is, I remember back when I was young, Daddy called me and said, "I'm here, my son." He said, "If you want to be like," that's one picture. Then the next, I remember back in school, that's another picture. I heard a train whistling down the track, that's another picture. I heard a band marching down the street, that's another picture. These are all pictures of, and my father, when he was in the writing session, he was just there, and he was like, "Man, I can see that being in movies. I can see that doing this. I can see that doing that." So when it came time for the music video, it was a mixture of him saying, "All right, let's play it exactly to what it was written as. Let's play it exactly to the song." And then from there, the movement of it. It was a mixture of my father's brain with the cinematography of J.B. Lawrence, who shot the music video. And my father came up with that concept based off the song itself. Just, and the whole thing was I wanted to tell my story. Like that music video was shot in my hometown, in my hometown, and also the hometown of my father. This is very much, they say roots. This is truly roots. I mean, right outside of the church, it's my great aunt's house. It's right there, and right behind the church that we shot in. The school we shot at was my elementary school when I was growing up. Everywhere we went, the train tracks right behind the neighborhood that I grew up in until I was about 6 years old, and then we moved to a different neighborhood in the same town. And then the marching, the funeral scene, the New Orleans funeral scene, being on the outskirts of New Orleans like that.
Right.
It wasn't or hey, look for asphalt. We're looking for the city. No. My roots are not the city. My roots are trees. My roots are the sticks. So it was just trying to play exactly how my life was and exactly based on the song. So it was a mixture of lyrics and JB's film and my father's beautiful mind. So who did the concept? Tony Gullage did the concept. Tony Gullage did the concept. Just a legend concept.
The wonderful thing in this short period of time that I've had an opportunity to converse with you, I see and also feel the love and respect and admiration that you have for your father.
Oh, yes, sir.
As you grow into a better version of Sonny Gullage, what are some of the things you're learning more about yourself as a person and also as a musician?
Okay, well, deep questions, but first thing, being 25, I'm learning who I am. I'm learning who I am and who I want to be as a man. Like as a man, I want to be this type of man for my family when I have one, for my kids when I have some, and for my wife when I have one. And that's funny enough through music as well. I mean, I had like you said, I have this deep respect for my fathers because what I do he showed me an example of how to do it right. And the times where he accidentally got it wrong, he still did it right because he looked at me and said, Kevin, I got it wrong. Don't do that. I got that wrong. That's one of those things that it takes a real big person. It takes a big person to say, I got it wrong. Forget the fact that I'm me and that I normally get it right. Today I got it wrong.
Right.
And that's a lesson that comes at every stage. I mean, it doesn't, not just when it's at home and we're in off time, and not when we're talking about the music video. There was some times where we were like, hey, I thought this, and he was like, no, that's not what I'm thinking. And I'm sitting there, well, I'm grown, I want to know. And then he was like, now, have I led you wrong before? Have I led you wrong? Have I ever intentionally done anything where I put you at a disadvantage? No, sir. Why would I start now? You learn these life lessons through the music, technically, because
Right.
the bus might be the music bus, but the path, the journey is, you can walk it just the same.
Right.
But if you sit there on the bus with somebody who knows where they're going, you'll get there quicker.
Without question. Without question.
And that's the lesson. The lesson is, hey, just because you're making something happen doesn't mean that you've made it to your destination yet. Let's be honest, if you or I get off the bus too early in any town, I'm from in New Orleans, if you get off the bus too early, you can be in the wrong spot. You can be in a very bad position.
Oh yeah, without question.
Exactly. And that's where it comes to knowing and trusting the driver and knowing and trusting the path that you're on. All just saying, hey, a lot of this is out of my hands. At best, I can say where I want to go. I can say where I want to go, and I can say what I'm going to do when I get there, and I can say what I'm going to do until I get there. But when it comes to how I get there, a lot of that's out of my hands, and I have to be comfortable with that. I have to be able to accept that. So that's
right.
I think that's something that I'm picking up still. I think that's growth. That's growth in terms of growing into a man, especially, I have say it like this, I have my convictions. I'm a Christian man. As a Christian man, that's something that is, you have to learn. You're not born a man. You're not born
Right.
like, oh, grown man. No, you're born, and then you have to learn to be that. You have to learn to be a responsible man. You have to learn to be a responsible adult. You have to learn these responsibilities, and that's on stage and off stage. So luckily,
Without question.
what I get to do with my father, I'm learning both lessons on both stages at the same time.
Right.
So
I get it.
Yeah.
It has to be very comforting to know, not just having this kind of love and respect that you have for your father, but know the most integral part of who he is as a man, that he is instilled in you, is integrity. Because if you don't have integrity, you're completely lost. I don't care how talented you are. You have to have a sense of integrity. And I get that through your music. I get that through the brief conversation that we are having right now, that integrity and family and having a purpose and direction is important in your music. Blues music. Blues music has a way of touching someone's soul in a manner that I don't think any kind of music has been able to do, because it reaches down in a part of your soul that magnifies your life experiences. And at the ripe old age of 25, Lord have mercy, some of the things that you sing about on this album, it comes from a very seasoned soul, someone that has been here before.
Yes,
and I wanted to ask you, even in your teen years, is this something that you've always envisioned yourself to do, this particular path in music?
I'll say it like this. I went to school for jazz at the age of 13 or 14, I went to the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. And I thought in that moment, ooh, I'm going to be the most jazzingest jazz guy ever. I'm going to walk around wearing turtlenecks. I'm going to have a loft in New York. I'm going to be up there swinging, you know? And it's funny, I joke with my dad nowadays. I'm like, man, so many people get so caught up in the image of being a professional that they never get to be a professional. And when I was a kid, you know, and everybody likes to think, well, I was never there. No, I was there. I was very much like, man, I got the turtleneck and the suit combo ready on deck for any gig I get. The gig I was getting was like just being corner music. And didn't have enough songs to justify the amount of clothes.
Right.
But geez. But then at some point when I started writing songs for myself, just like I started writing songs at first to, hey, I want to talk about the world I see. And then I don't know where along the lines I felt a heartbreak or something. I don't know where it was, but it was just somewhere on that road. I started getting more in touch with all of my feelings in terms of like, you know, not everything I'll be happy, not everything I'll be sad. And I started writing it. And I wasn't singing it as blues, I was just singing it as songs. I wrote this song from my first album with the Blues Groupers, Something Old, Something New, Something Called Blues. I wrote a song called Moving On, which featured Ronnie Baker Brooks. I wrote that song at about 14 years old. I wrote that song, and we didn't record it or really finish it until I was 20 something.
Wow.
And when we recorded it, I thought about it. I was like, man, how did I get into writing blues? How did I write blues at 14? And I think it was just I magnified life so much. Everything for me had a time period. Like, I mean, I wanted to be married and have kids and all of that real early. So
Right.
I lived my life like that. I lived my life like, okay, I'm on the clock, I'm on schedule. And every like when kids have that puppy love, I never went into the idea of dating or anything with the idea of puppy love. I went into it with, oh, I want this is the one. This one's going to last. And like every kid does, but I mean, but I also somehow internalized the feeling that and the lessons that came from those things.
Right.
And then I started feeling, and next thing I know, I'm singing with this feeling, with these feelings. I'm not singing from here. I'm singing from here, and I'm singing from that, you know, gut, that soul. And I guess that's that gospel that was just punching its way through at the same time.
Yeah.
So I started power singing at a super early age. And with power singing, you started listening to power singers like Phil Perry and people like that, and Bobby Blue Bland and B.B. King, and you get into it. Next thing you know, you're the one that's power singing the blues. You're wailing, moaning blues, and I think that's how I end up in terms of. That's when I started realizing, okay, I feel the blues. I feel the blues. I feel this way of singing, and that changed. I was telling someone recently, I said, I used to think of the blues as, you remember the Blues Brothers movie? I used to think of the blues and be like, oh, everybody needs somebody. And I was like, that's the blues. And at the same time, so the thrill is gone on the way. And then I thought about it. I was like, the blues ain't just always sad. The blues is all of life.
Yeah.
The blues is all of it. That's why, and like you said, the blues resonates with people in a way that pretty much no other music does.
Yeah, this is true.
Because not everybody's a Christian.
Yeah.
So gospel music, it resonates with a lot of us, but not all of us, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Gospel music Rock does resonate with some people. Funk resonates with a great deal of people. Hip hop resonates with enough people, you know. But blues, not everybody is in. Not everybody's in the struggle. Not everybody's in the cut. Not everybody's in the what is the word? The audacious realm of classical.
Yeah.
But there's one thing everybody's doing, and that's living. No matter what you believe, you're alive and believing it.
Yeah.
So,
Without question.
so that's what blues does. Blues, I think that's what I sort of was going through. I was realizing growing up, I'm living. I'm not puppy loving. I'm not having fun. That puppy love stage lasts a month for me at best. After that, I'm like, no, we're supposed to have an understanding by now. No, you know me at this point. You know how I am at this point. So like I was living, and that's what made it so. That's what made it so special. I started singing about living, and I even wrote a song about it for a musical once, where I said it was a musical about Huey P. Long, funny enough, but I said, and when you choose to follow pride, you lay down on your knife. Oh, but living can teach you something about life. And that's exactly what I always wanted to say in blues. That you're living. You
Yeah.
have your happy, you have your sad, you have your mad, you have your angry, but in all of it, you're living.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in total agreement with you. It's what amazes me. We can go all the way back to the 60s, and blues has left such a strong blueprint on music. You go all the way to England. Those cats in London are enamored. They said they have such a reverence for blues music, from the Rolling Stones to Led Zeppelin to the Beatles, you name it. All of their music incorporates blues. Every fiber incorporates blues music. Do you find it's much easier to express your feelings and your feelings and emotions through your music?
Definitely. I was a kid who couldn't pronounce his own name until he was 5 years old, 6 years old. I couldn't pronounce it. I don't necessarily think in the most communicative way. I think in very unorthodox ways, actually, in terms of everything. One of my first songs, take the oil from the river. It's about the BPO. So I wrote, take the oil from the river, make it pure like a white driven snow. I'm from I've never seen white driven snow, but just the concept was like, it works.
Yeah.
So I never thought in a way that was like very streamlined. But music, you have the amount of time the song is. That's it.
Right.
So in that time, I can say everything I want to say. I can say it all, and because of the way I'm going to sing it, I can tell you the exact emotion that I'm feeling. I can tell you exactly how I'm feeling. Just it might be a look. It might start from the way I grab the mic. It might start with the way I touch the piano instead of dropping my hands down, or just it might be just one note. But it's me. It's me giving exactly who I am. It's me saying, this is how I feel. There's no, because language is a limitation itself.
Yeah.
English is a language that most of the world knows. However, they know it because of music. They know it because of especially the blues. Language is a barrier. Cultural differences is a barrier. All of these things that can divide you not it's not anyone's fault. It just that's how you live. Where are you up in? You're part of America. Are you in?
I'm in Houston,
Yeah,
Texas.
I thought. Okay, maybe
Yeah,
I didn't want to
Houston.
be like. I didn't want to be like teddy bears. I didn't want to be like teddy bears in Dallas. No, no. But no, it's like, and funny enough, I have a few friends out there who are great musicians and in other fields like jazz musicians as well. Friends who went to HSPVA, places like that, and we talk about it. We say stuff. We're like, hey, you and I have two totally different experiences of the same thing.
Right.
Like in New Orleans, in New Orleans, you know how hurricanes can hit us. Now, hurricanes can hit Houston. Hurricanes have hit Houston.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that we can be here having this conversation today.
Without question.
But you and I both also know hurricanes hit both of our places differently.
Yes.
Whereas Houston's community is one way, New Orleans' community is a different way. The way that we have to snap back, the way y'all snap back is completely different. But you and I can somehow communicate these things the same way, communicate the same feeling in our own special way, but telling everyone, hey, this is how our lives are. This is our experience.
Right.
And that's the only effective way to communicate.
Yeah.
There's no there are words in English, like there's a restaurant in Louisiana called Mosca's. That's a solid name. It's an Italian restaurant. It's called Mosca's. Mosca's in Spanish means flies. Nothing about that. Nothing about that. It says, hey, I want they're like, I don't want to eat at the flies restaurant. just after I say flies, it's like when you see flea motel. It's like
right.
While in a different language, the words flea and motel might sound absolutely beautiful. In English, we don't do that. So it's the same. It's the same thing. There's always going to be a barrier, except in music.
Yeah, this is true.
Exactly.
I noticed something in the background, a very beautiful Fender Stratocaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I wish. This is actually, I'm actually away. I'm away from New Orleans right now. I'm out of town.
Okay.
And this is actually the house I'm staying in. They did a lot of nice things knowing that I was coming. For instance, give me 1 second.
Welcome. Oh man, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Welcome, Kevin. # welcome, Kevin.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh man, the reason I noticed it because you have a very super gifted guitarist playing on this album, Kingfish.
Oh man,
25 years old, and he's definitely from another world. Super talented. And I wanted to ask you, what was it like working with him on the album?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I mean, when you say something out loud, and you're like, it would be really cool if this happened. So that's exactly how this went. So Tom Hammer and I were writing for the album, and we wrote the song "Worried About the Young," and it became a conversation of, who it would really be cool, another young person who would be great if they were on this. Kingfish, that would be really cool. Tom Hambridge goes, hey, I work with Kingfish. I produced his last one, and I wrote for it. I'll float the idea to him. I'll ask him. And then it became, after we recorded, we're gonna get Kingfish. We're gonna somehow get Kingfish, is what he said. And I'm gonna ask him if he wants to do it. let's see if he wants to. He's such a, with 4 Grammys and every blues award under his belt, he's such a nonchalant guy. He's like,
Right.
yeah, we're gonna try to get him. And then one night, I think in April or May or March, April or May, uh, we get an email in the middle of the night. Hey, here's Kingfish's Traxx. I'm worried about the young. I hope you like it. Man,
Wow.
because you know, between my schedule of being a touring running musician, as well as his schedule of being a touring running musician, as well as he's doing Fender Strat one. He's doing I think it's the Jack Daniels, the Jack Daniels promos and everything. 2 very busy schedules. We didn't get in the studio together. Not together, I wish. But for someone like Kingfish, and I say this every time, for someone like Kingfish to cut time out of his schedule, touring and running, and he doesn't have to do that, you know, didn't have to. I was so grateful just for the fact that he took time to listen to it and then say, all right, I have some ideas. Let me put something on. I mean, a lot of people don't know that type of like, wow, someone that kind of good sees me at least sort of that kind of just a little bit maybe. So to even get that track back was so life changing in a way that was, it made me feel like, wow, he recognizes me as something at least, and as maybe not an equal, let's be honest, but as somebody he can at least respect in his music. And that was so great. And I say it in every interview. I say it as many times as I can. To Tom Hamrish, to Kingfish, both of you, thank you so much for the time that you took out on this album. I can't express how grateful I am for it. But yeah, so working with Kingfish, just knowing that somebody else who feels that much, who in every word I sing, like I told you, in every word I sing, I put a certain feeling. For Kingfish, in every note he plays, as soon as that guitar is strummed, just you feel electricity coming through the speaker, through the headphones. It's just Kingfish. So in a song that I felt was so powerful, this song says a lot, and a lot can come from it.
Without question. Without question. Like I said, the entire album is incredible, and I want to really urge the listeners out there that are tuning in, watching us live, or listening to us live stream on iHeartRadio. The album is officially out on August the 23rd, but you can pre-order it as we speak. It's on iTunes, Apple, Spotify. And if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, you can always head over to Amazon.com. Lord have mercy. So far be it for me, the teddy bear, to deprive the listeners out there of some blueprint soulful music. Let's get into it. One of the many beautiful hit singles from the new album, of course, the title track, Go Be Free. Lord have mercy, from Sonny Gullage here on Night Traxx Radio. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you're right.
And he said, go be free. Honey, I'll be free. Say, don't be free. Go be free.
Lord have mercy. Kevin, Sonny Gullage, the title track from the new album, Go Be Free. Again, will be out on August the 23rd, but available for pre-order. Brother, first and foremost, I want to thank you for honoring us today. This is your time. This is your season. You have the ability to bring so much unity through your music. You have definitely been given a gift. And I know a lot of the loyal listeners out there would like to know, when are we going to have an opportunity to see you perform live again, man?
Man, we're about to head out of country, actually. We're about to head to Calgary. We're about to head to Calgary Blues Fest. Super excited to see a great deal of blues friends out there. After that, we're actually in the talks of trying to put together a tour within the U.S. because a lot of the traveling that the blues groovers and I do is done internationally, but we're working on it. And
all right.
I just can't wait to get out there and see everybody. So.
Well, we're looking forward to it, man. Again, you consider this your home away from home. Whatever you need, don't hesitate to let us know. And hopefully you'll make your way down here to Houston soon. Austin City Limits is right down the street. But I know you would, man, you would, oh my goodness. It is a beautiful place for wonderful artists to really show and showcase their talents. And without question, you are super talented. And thank you so much with honoring us with your presence and a wonderful new album.
Oh, thank you so much, Teddy Bear. Really means a lot, man. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. The one and only super talented Mr. Kevin Sonny Gullage, of course, here on Traxx Radio and Family. Again, the new album, Go Be Free, will be available and out on August the 23rd, but it is available for pre-order as we speak. I love it. The entire album is wonderful. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in and allowing the Teddy Bear to help you tune out all the negative energy on this very therapeutic and also very soulful Friday. Yes, Lord. Also, I want to send out a lot of very special thank yous to Damien Escobar. Esco, my Lord, super talented brother, 2-time Emmy Award-winning violinist. Man, his new album, Gemini, is incredible. Be sure to pick that up. Also, another super talented artist, captivating, Lord have mercy, Charlie. Charlie, Lord have mercy, Charlie Pace, her debut new album, Hear Me Out. And also, last but certainly not least, it was an honor to interview the legendary, the Colonel, Steve Cropper was on the show. I want to thank him so much for joining us. And be sure to purchase his new album, Friendly Town, featuring Brian May from Queen, Billy F. Gibbons from ZZ Top, and also Tim, if I'm not mistaken, Tim McNamara. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I hope I am. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and be sure to get all the pertinent information. Be sure to follow Sonny, of course, on his Instagram. You got to follow him there to get all the latest updates, and also on Blind Pig Records. It has definitely been a beautiful experience. And for those who missed the interview, no need to fear. We got you covered. You can also go on our YouTube channel and see the interview in its entirety. That's at Traxx Radio. That's with 2 X's, Traxx Radio Podcast. Also, be sure to follow us on TikTok as well as Instagram, and also the artist formerly known as Twitter. We're on X too. It has been a fantastic, wonderful therapeutic Friday. And as always, I want everyone to keep it soulful here on Traxx Radio. God bless and have a wonderful, soulful weekend.